Hello, my name is Ashley Lucas. I'm with State Hearings, the ACMS team, and this video is for authorized representative organizations, their ARs, their professional ARs, to take a look at their cases that they have in ACMS. So when an AR organization is identified in an appeal, then they will be able to see those appeals in their cases. Right now, I'm signed in as an authorized representative user. My username is going to be my email address. There's my email address as an authorized rep. And you're going to have a couple of different things up here on this main screen when you first sign in. There's your My Account. You can fill out your, change your password, fill out your profile preferences. If you have multiple roles, you have a change role. I only have one role. I'm an authorized representative user. This is how you sign out of ACMS, and this is your help screen that takes you to our main website and our user guides. The next thing you're going to see on your screen is this gray bar at the very top of the screen, and that is called a navigation bar. And a lot of times you're going to be here on this home screen, and that is where you're going to find all of these, all of your cases. AR organizations very rarely use the tracking inbox or configuration at all. So most of the time you're right here. And on the home screen, you really have only two things. You have your open cases and your closed cases. So right now I'm clicked on these open cases, and you're going to see that all of my assigned open cases here are listed. So in each and every one of these cases, I am listed as an AR, and my organization is listed as an AR organization. So let me show you what that looks like when you look at it. So I'm going to go into the actual appeal. I'm going to slide down to AR organization, which is right here. And I'm with this is all like kind of pretend. I'm with the California Coalition of Welfare Rights Organizations. So that's my AR organization. And so I'm able to see this appeal. Sometimes ARs, professional ARs, let us know that they know they have an appeal. They know they've been identified as an AR for an appeal, but they can't see it in ACMS. If that's the case for you, just send an email to our customer service unit, and that email address is shdcsu@dss.ca.gov, and they'll be able to make sure that you're, number one, identified as the AR on that case, and number two, your group is identified on this front page as the AR organization. All right, so let's go back to that home page. Again, you're going to see all of your cases that are open. And if you're interested in looking back at cases that are closed, all you have to do is click on that AR assigned cases closed, and you're going to see a list of your closed cases. And then you can see a lot of information right there, like the claimant's name, what the responsible agency is, the status of the appeal. You can also see the same thing in your assigned cases, your open cases. You can see whether they're just pending review, or if they're waiting to be scheduled, or if they're scheduled, or if they're heard. You can look at the modality of all of your cases, whether it's going to be an in-person hearing or a phone hearing, the due date for the appeal. The filing date's over here on the far left. And if it was scheduled for a hearing, you're going to see the hearing date and time on this far right column. Now, depending on how many entries you have on here, you can see in the upper left-hand corner of the box, it says show 10 entries. You can bump that up to 250. If you're one of those people, one of those organizations that has lots and lots of different cases, maybe 250 is a better view for you, and it just scrolls down further and further. If you like to get your information in bite-sized pieces, you might want to say 10. And in that case, it'll say showing 1 through 10 of however many entries you have. You might want to look at this bottom right-hand corner to look at the other pages. You can also quickly search your cases if you know a person's name. Like, you know the claimant's first name is Mary, and you want to find her case really fast. Just type in Mary, hit enter, and it's going to pull out anything with Mary in it. This one, the claimant's name is Mary Smith. So you can find your cases pretty easily here in these two different queues that you have for you. But let's deep dive into one of those appeals. So let me randomly pick those appeals. And just so you know, all of these appeals are fake appeals with fake names and fake people. So we're not compromising any personally identifying information. So this is what an appeal looks like in ACMS. The top part of your screen looks pretty much the same. But now this bottom part here has all the information about the appeal. This tab that says appeal is like the cover page. It's going to have the claimant's name. And as you can see, that is clickable. If you click on it, you're going to find the person's profile. That's all their personal information, like date of birth. Scroll down, if there's any demographic information they've entered, it will be here. Their preferred language, their preferred mode of communication, their address if they provided one. Now, if they would have chosen postal system as their preferred mode of communication, we make it required for them to put an address in. Otherwise, we won't be able to mail anything to them. But this particular claimant has selected email address, so only their email is a required field. And then, of course, we always like to have a phone number, even though it's not required, because we do lots and lots of contact by phone or maybe a phone hearing. And then if this person has any appeals in the system, you'll see them listed right here off to the right, existing appeals. Whether they're open or closed, they'll be listed. So let's go back to that appeal. You're going to see the hearing number and the PIN. If the claimant chooses, or you as the AR choose to interact with this case through our interactive voice recording system, we can do that as well. The information you'll need is this case number and PIN to do that. And then there's lots of very important information regarding the appeal right here in this banner. We call this the banner or the ribbon. The claimant information, any information regarding the hearing, and any case information like what is the due date, if it got expedited, if it got postponed. All that kind of information is listed here in the case history. And then you can see lots and lots of information regarding the case if you just scroll down this cover page of the appeal. Now the next tab is called the Action tab. The Action tab is where you can do things with a case. So if you go into the Action tab and you can hover over this action and then click on New Action, or you can click on this plus new. Either way, it's going to take you to the same place, and that place is this Action page. So you can act on behalf of the claimant, and you can do certain things. You can request a postponement. You can request a rehearing if the case is closed and you want a rehearing. If you want to reopen, you can request a reopen, or you can also request a withdraw. So whichever one of those things you want to do, you just select it, and then you can optionally upload a file. Of course, you're going to write down some action notes. So these little red R's are required fields, so you're going to have to put something in there. So since we're requesting a postponement, you want to probably put in a really good reason. The claimant needs a postponement because they have been in the hospital. And then you're going to select whichever schedule hearing. This one's blank, so we can go ahead and leave that blank even though it's a required field. And let's hit the Save button. It's going to ask you, it's going to tell you right here that you can request a postponement. It doesn't mean you're going to get it. So what's going to happen is State Hearings is going to take a look at your request, and they're going to either grant it or deny it. And right now what it's telling me is this case is not even scheduled, so you can't request a postponement unless it's scheduled, which makes lots of sense. So let's do something else, and let's request a withdrawal. So again, you can optionally upload some sort of document, and you can put some notes in. Yeah, we decided to withdraw this appeal. And then, of course, there's the little confirmation down here, making sure that you know that if you withdraw it, you're not going to get a hearing. So you can hit confirm and save, and that's going to withdraw the case. Well, what it's telling me is already in there. So let me take a look at this appeal and see what's going on. Oh, it's still in pending review. Okay, so they're reviewing that request for withdrawal. So it's really easy to interact with the case using the action button. That's how you do things. So the document button is also very helpful. Let me find an appeal that's got some documents in it. Let's look at one of these closed cases. I bet one of these guys have some documents. Oh, there we go. So once you go into the document tab, you're going to see all the different documents in a case. You're going to probably see the hearing request. You're going to see an acknowledgement letter. If it was scheduled, you're going to see the scheduling letter. And you can take a look at any of those documents by clicking on the file, the one with the paper clip. And you can see the actual letter, the acknowledgement letter in this case. There it is. If you wanted to take a look at the metadata for a document, I believe you can do that. Just click on anywhere in the line except on the actual paperclip field, and you can see all sorts of information regarding the document. Let me go back to the document listing. I'm using these breadcrumbs that are right underneath the navigation bar. That way I can go back and forth in the appeal without having to go back all the way out and go back all the way in. And then the other tab that you have available to you is this hearing tab. This hearing tab tells you all the different hearings that's happened on this case. So it's only had one hearing so far, and that was on the 28th of January, and it was a non-appearance. If this case was postponed, you'd see postponement, you'd see a reason, and then you'd probably see the new case. And if that one gets continued, you see a continuance reason and then another case. So until the issue is heard, you might see several different hearings, depending on what's going on with that particular claimant and their case. All right, so that's pretty much how you interact with ACMS and appeals as an AR organization, a professional AR organization. If you do have any questions about this, or if you want more information, contact A, and we would be happy to help guide you through this. If you want to see anything in particular, again, let me go back to the home screen. So it's pretty easy. It's pretty simple when you're an authorized representative to that you have all your cases right here in the cases open. And if you know you have a case and you don't see it on your list, just let us know. We want to make sure that it's been identified properly as your case that your organization is representing. So we'll just we'll make that correction in there so that you can see it. All right, again, contact us if you have any questions, and thank you for viewing this video.